Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is episode 89 of the American Reveille Podcast. And Joe Biden, are you ready for this? Has reversed a decision that Donald Trump made. All right. One that stated that segregating children in schools into groups by race is considered racist. Well, Joe Biden thinks it's okay to take your children, white, Black, Hispanic, whatever they are, put them in group settings by their race only, not integrated, not diversity, not mixed together, but in their separate race groups to associate woke values and teach woke ideology to these kids. That is what he okayed. That is what he reversed. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden is brainwashing your children. This stuff's disturbing. And most of all, it's racist as hell, ladies and gentlemen. And while everybody else is covering a lot of the bigger stories, this stuff is just slipping. It's just slipping right under the table. Just slipping right under the table, ladies and gentlemen. So Biden is literally going to allow racial segregation in schools in order to shove woke Marxist ideology down our children's throats. It's terrible. It's horrible. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, guys, but this is stuff you need to know. So please, please, please take a listen, take a watch, and stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing? James Lane here, American Reveille Podcast, episode 89. Apparently, we're speaking in sentence fragments today. Anyway, what's up, guys? Look, it's been stressful, all right? I am behind on my dissertation. Getting everything in motion for the business, getting through the censorship has been a nightmare. I'm not going to lie to you guys. All right. Am I quitting? No. Am I stopping? No. Am I prepared to walk through tar pits, through quicksand on hot coals and broken glass? Of course I am. But it does suck. It does suck. And that's what we're doing. So it is what it is. That's my job as an entrepreneur, right? I got to come up with a solution to a difficult problem that not many people can solve. How the hell do we get the American Reveille Podcast into the ears of American patriots all over this country and all over the world when every company seems to have their knee on our neck? But that's all right. We'll build up our reputations on the alt tech. We'll do what we have to do. We have the street team stuff coming. I'm just waiting on two things. They're very special. I'll talk about everything once it's all put together so I can send out all these envelopes to people across the country. It's going to be really cool stuff, guys. But until I get it all here, I'm not going to tell you about it. So there's a slight delay on something coming, and it is what it is. So we'll just have to wait about an extra week, and then I'll talk about it. All right? So until then, listen, we got the street team stuff, like I said. All right? We're moving forward with building an accounting system, an accounting department, right? I'm looking for help. And that's kind of the issue, right? My time is consumed. I have so little wiggle room, and it's very difficult to be efficient on the dime with a snap, right? Think about that. Like, are you good to go? Like, if you have an assignment or if you have a task to do you just like get right up off the couch and you're like zoom and you get it done? Or is it almost like you got to do some mental prep work sometimes? Sometimes you got to do some mental prep work, and sometimes that takes time, right? So obviously I could get better at that, right? But there's just not enough time in a day. I got to write a dissertation. I got to write a literature review for a dissertation for PhD, right? I have my wife and kids. I can't neglect them. I can't. I've got this company I'm trying to build, this organization, the American Reveille. And obviously I'm working, right? I'm not unemployed. You got to pay for this somehow. I got to pay for everybody to eat. So I have a full-time job where I'm working 50 hours a week, right? And trust me, I really can't get into what I do here with them there because of this socialist woke ideology that's spreading across corporate offices, right? They hear one of their people has a radio show preaching the right way, and I may lose all my funding for even dinner, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, you know, you have challenges. You take risks. So I'm juggling all these stressful things. That's what I'm getting at. And is it difficult? Of course it is. And I guess that's the point I'm trying to make to everybody. All of this stuff that I do, it's not necessarily because I'm so smart or I'm so good at this or that. It's not at all. It really comes down to the fact that I just have to weather the storm, right? So if you're consistent and you bust your butt and you come up with ideas and you just keep pushing and life just knocks you, and you just keep getting up and you just keep going forward and you just keep crossing through the desert, you know, you eventually get where you need to go. It's consistency. It's discipline. It's ownership. It's learning from mistakes. It's not about being special. I'm not special. And trust me, I'm still failing all the time and I'm having to learn from those failures. All right. I'm not like some millionaire, right? We're doing this podcast from a studio built inside of an apartment, but a lot of people started there. And I'll show you through consistency that this will be successful. It will turn out. My vision will come to fruition and come to a reality because there's no quit in me. There's no quit in me. We'll adapt. We'll overcome. We'll figure it out. All right. So, you know, that's just where we're at. I wanted to kind of give everybody an update of what we're doing and kind of where my head's at and what we're building, right? I mean, the left has this great weapon. It's an effective weapon. This censorship is so freaking disheartening. It is. It kills your morale. Think about that. I spend all this time, right? I mean, I could quit doing this altogether and just focus on my dissertation, get it done stress-free, spend extra hours every week with my kid. But I choose not to. I choose to bust my butt on this podcast and in this company trying to build it because I have a vision. I believe in something, and I know you'll believe in something. And these companies, these big tech companies, and these leftists, these woke lunatics, they block me. They censor me. They shut me up. They make it so I can't reach people. I was reaching tens of thousands of people. We were going viral multiple times, and we just get smacked down. Whoopsh, whoopsh, whoopsh. Just bitch slapped down. Because our topic is what? Uncouth. It's not the mainstream topic. It's not even that bad what we talk about. We barely curse. There are some shows out there, ladies and gentlemen, that have hundreds of thousands of views, and you should hear what they talk about. Not that I'm judging them. I'm just saying my political wrong speak is literally worse than what I could consider porn. It just is what it is. So it can be a pain. It can be disheartening, like I said, but I'm dedicated. We're all dedicated, and we're going to plow through. All right. So have faith. Keep spreading the word about the American Reveille. Keep talking about us. Keep liking us. Keep sharing us. All right. If you really like what we do, support our sponsor. The sponsor of this episode is Life Change Tea. Go to getthetea.com, www.getthetea.com. Like I said, if you support the American Reveille and you really want to help us out, support our sponsor so that they'll stay with us. All right. And they'll keep paying us to plug their product that, like I've said, I've personally tried and I've showed you. Listen. Getthetea.com, promo code James. It'll get you free shipping and handling. And just do me a favor. If you don't believe me, stick around at the end of this episode. Just stick around. I got a little 3-minute ad that I filmed really telling you how I feel about the product. Really. I really drink it. I even show you that I drink it and what I do with it and all kinds of stuff. So just stick around at the end. All right. It's a really good cleanse. It's a daily cleanse. You drink it, right? And it doesn't make you go to the bathroom like a crazy person or anything like that, right? It just literally helps you get rid of waste and toxins and horrible just things that have built up inside your body and get rid of the bloat, get rid of the gut, flatten your tummy. it does really good stuff. And, they made me a believer. They really did. So I've been drinking it ever since. So stick around, like I said, at the end of this episode for the tea. All right, guys. So go to getthetea.com for Life Change Tea, promo code James for free shipping and handling. All right, guys. I've gone on enough. I blabbed. I've asked you for the 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, right? I've asked you to like, I've asked you to share, I've asked you to follow me everywhere. Gab, American_Reveille, Odyssey, American_Reveille, right? Parler at the James Lane on Parler. I've asked all that stuff. I bet you want me to shut up now and just get to the article, all right? I'm doing that. We're there. Sorry. All right, guys. Sorry. We're going right there to the Epic Times. It's spelled epoch. I know. I have no idea, but I literally is spelled epoch, but they say it's the Epic Times. So I would think Epic would be EPIC. No, this is EPOCH, but it's become a reliable source in the recent months. So the Epic Times, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Biden DOE no longer finds racially segregated groups in schools to be discriminatory. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. This is real. Your children could be a victim of this. This is by GQ Pan. And this came out March 9th, 2021, folks. So let's start reading. The U.S. Department of Education has reversed a Trump-era decision that declared race-based affinity groups at public schools to be discriminatory, according to the New York Post. After a whistleblower teacher's complaint from the Evanston-Skokie School District in Illinois, the Trump administration's Education Department in 2019 launched an investigation into the district's practice of dividing students and staff into groups. All right, listen to this. Dividing students and staff into different groups based on their race and conducting activities allegedly aimed at helping address discrimination and white privilege. Isn't that wonderful, guys? Brainwashing our children. According to documents obtained by the New York Post, the practices carried out in the Chicago area school district were found to be in violation of Title VI, the federal law prohibiting race-based discrimination in education. The practice deemed discriminatory by the Trump administration included, among many others, racially exclusive affinity groups that separated students, parents, and community members by race. All right, this isn't just kids. This is the community. They're going along with this. They're separated. I mean, when did we become such freaking puppets? Why is it so easy to control? What happened? Where have we been? We've been asleep, guys. Look how easy this is. Look how easy it is to mind control people. All right, these racially exclusive affinity groups, they separated students, parents, community members by race. A colorism privilege walk. Colorism privilege walk that asks students to move forward or back according to racial privileges. I heard about this last year. Move forward or back, right? They're trying to demonstrate equity here. Who starts at a better place in life based on race. And it's all bull. It's all garbage. Trust me. It's all garbage. It really is. They basically had to move forward or back according to racial privileges they supposedly have or lack, and a policy that explicitly directed staffers to take into account a student's race when taking disciplinary actions. They're being punished based on race, and they're being told that they're born screwed or not screwed based on race. That's basically the gist of it. That's what they're teaching kids and their community, and people are just going with it. This is insanity. Orwellian. 1984, ladies and gentlemen, the whistleblower told the New York Post that she received a call on January 6th from Carol Ashley, the enforcement director for the Education Department's Office of Civil Rights, who told her that the Office of Civil Rights had issued a letter of finding that the district was engaging in discriminatory behavior, right? So people were reporting this, saying it was discriminatory, all right? Saying that it was bad, okay, that it was literally teaching our children. All right. And I paused there on purpose because I'm going to say something that might get me in trouble or get people mad at me, but they're literally training kids to become future looters and rioters. That's what they're doing. Future looters and rioters. That's what they're doing in those classes. They're literally teaching white supremacy. They're teaching literally subjugation to kids. They're teaching them to feel oppressed or to be the oppressor. And that's a part of critical race theory. Literally, it literally spells it out. Like, that's how dumb people have gotten. I hate to say it, and I'm sorry, but most of you listening to this, I'm sure you're not dumb. That's why you're listening to my show. So you're listening to this, and I'm telling you, most people are really dumb. Because when you look up critical race theory, it literally says that it's a theory that people are separated into these classes based on privilege, based upon things like skin color, based upon racist views and things like that, that is handed down due to a situational status, right? And it separates people into groups of oppressed and oppressor, right? But that has a psychological, I don't care how good it looks to people on paper or mathematically. There's more to humans than that. And there's a psychological effect that this crap is having on people. There really is. Literally, when they're separating children into groups in schools. Listen, I showed you, I posted on Parler and Gab the other day. You saw it. If you're on my Parler and Gab. If you're not, go there. All right, at the James Lane on Parler, American_Reveille on Gab. You got to go there and look. But in Ocean Beach, California, OB, it's part of San Diego, like a little more north. They're hosting a Dr. Seuss book burning, literal book burning. And it's on like Craigslist. And they're like, let's burn the evil books. They're having book burnings, folks. And in these schools, they're teaching kids to separate each other by racial group, by skin color, by race, by the color of their skin, not by individuality. No actual diversity, actual racism, segregation. And they're teaching them to hate each other. That's what's happening. Let's keep reading. However, on January 22nd, 2 days after President Joe Biden's inauguration, the teacher received another call from Ashley informing her that the findings and any further findings have been indefinitely suspended as part of the new administration's effort to promote racial equity in schools. That is what Joe Biden did to Donald Trump's MAGA education initiative, his what was it, 1776 project, his vision to bring patriotic education back to schools. It's been wiped out, and now children are being taught about equity again, being taught that they're victims or they're oppressors, that they're evil white children. I mean, this is terrible stuff, and this is what Democrats have voted for. The suspension of the OCR investigation was also confirmed by Superintendent Devin Horton of the Evanston-Skokie District, who told the New York Post that last month the proceedings were suspended by OCR pending its reconsideration of the case in light of the executive orders on racial equity issued by President Biden. In the executive order signed on his first day in the White House, on his first day, folks, Biden vowed to embed racial equity rather than support equal opportunity into his administration. Quote, equal opportunity is the fundamental promise of America, but systemic racism and discrimination in our economy, laws, and institutions have put the promise of America out of reach for too many families of color. The other reads, adding that the Biden administration will take bold and ambitious steps to root out inequity from the economy and expand opportunities for communities of color and other underserved Americans. Look, I'm all for helping everybody. I don't care. Look, I'm not saying give everybody a handout. What I'm getting at is if you want to help people out a little bit, right, find a way to make things more fair. I have no doubt that there are people that are discriminated. Nobody's saying that people don't get discriminated against, and it's terrible when people are actually discriminated against. But racial equity is a radical theory. It's a Marxist radical theory. It isn't an actual discrimination or hate crime or anything like that. All right, it's literally a thing that's eating and replacing our definitions, and we're getting everything mixed up. The left has a different definition of what racism is than the right. I've said this before. We're like speaking two different languages now because the left and the right have two different ideologies. That's why there's so many communication problems. Words mean different things for each group. All right, guys? Trust me, I'm a PhD student. I'm sciencey, okay? Listen, it's just a fact of life. It's what we're going through right now. All right? It is. But this equity crap, it's a poison. This critical race theory, this wokeness, France isn't wrong. It's a poison. It's literally a poison. And the left is using it for power. They want to control everything once everything collapses. But we can stop that from happening. We can stop that from happening if we just keep following what Donald Trump is preaching. All right? I'm not saying to be a mindless zombie and just follow Donald Trump. But what I'm saying is he laid out a plan to make America great again. And it's a fair plan. It's an equal plan. And it's a plan that lifts up all people of all races, all legal Americans. All right? All legal United States citizens, regardless of race, gender, or color, or heritage. It's a great thing. All right? Look. Equity, we're going to read this here. Equity is a concept tied to the Marxist critical theory, which slices up society into identity groups based on race, gender, sexual proclivities, and other factors, while dividing the groups into oppressed and oppressors. See, I got it pretty much right. Similar to how Marxism labels people as oppressors or the oppressed based on class. See, they move a couple words around. Marxism changes to critical race theory, and then they go, no, we're not Marxists. They're Marxists. They're all Marxists. They all are. By the way, BLM, right? Created by Marxists, right? $90 million they made in donations during all these riots and stuff. They've been looking around at all these groups, all these different local communities. BLM hasn't done one thing to help them with that money. They've kept it all for themselves. I wonder why. That's how Marxists do things. The power is at the top, and the subservient pay for their cut, their peace, their safety, and their sanctity with their quiet, simple obedience. Not something that's going to go over well in the United States of America. The OCR did not immediately respond to a request for comment by the Epic Times, folks. This is horrible stuff. We're going to hear terrible stories like this over the next 4 years, regardless of what happens, right? Even if we win back the House and the Senate, which I fully expect in 2022, Biden's still going to write these insane executive orders. If he's even still there at that point, it could be Kamala writing even crazier executive orders, even crazier ones. You saw they're bombing the hell out of Syria, right? They're yelling at Iran. They're claiming to protect Saudi. Who knows what the hell Biden's doing? The southern border's on freaking fire. It's on fire. It's literally like the beginning of, it's like the stampede from the beginning of The Lion King at the border, right? And Simba's dad's gonna fall. It's ridiculous down there. Like really, like God protect all of the folks living on the border, on all those border cities and everything. And God help our children, because they're predicting millions are going to be flooding in the next month or two. You know, I mean, it's just insane. It's insane. 6,000 plus a day, ladies and gentlemen. Every single day, 6,000 plus a day coming through the border, folks. Coming through the border. I wanted to get through this article. I wanted to read it to you. I think it's important. I think you need to know what's happening in our schools and what could be coming to a town near you, so that you're prepared to do something about it. All right, guys. So this is episode 89 of the American Reveille Podcast. I hope you like the info that we're getting out. Do me a favor if you do. All right. Do me a big favor. Go to gab.com. If you're not already there, sign up to Gab. Follow American_Reveille. That's me, James Lane. Follow me there on Gab. You can do the same thing on Parler. Sign up for Parler at the James Lane. Follow me at the James Lane. I'm on Odyssey. It's a really good platform that is like YouTube, but I think it's even better. Odyssey, ODYSEE.com. Sign up there and then follow me, American_Reveille. That's the American Reveille on Odyssey. I'm everywhere. I'm Rumble. I'm on YouTube, but I'm shadow banned. All the mainstream stuff, YouTube, Twitter, everything like that, I am shadow banned to hell. You'll never see my posts. You'll never see anything. So Parler and Gab is the place to be, ladies and gentlemen, and follow me on all the alt tech that you can. So please do me a favor, all right? Stay tuned after this episode for a little ad that I filmed about the www.getthet.com, the Life Change Tea product that I use that I really, really like. Getthet.com, promo code James for free shipping and handling. All right, guys, do me a favor. www.americanreveille.com. All right, hit the contact form. You can fill it out. If you want to talk to me, ask me a question. If you want to give me any feedback, you can also email me directly, jameslane@americanreveille.com. If you are a WordPress pro, if you do cover art, things for thumbnails, if you do audio, video editing, I mean, good stuff, like things you believe you can help with the podcast and the company and different things like that. You think you have good ideas, email me directly, jameslane@americanreveille.com. We need a lot of help. Things are getting busy, guys. Really, they are. And of course, if you're feeling generous, if you really want to see us succeed, please hit the support us tab. All right. You can donate all kinds of digital currency like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and of course you can donate on PayPal any amount, $5, $10, $100. Everything goes right back into the company, reinvested into the American Reveille, and we make sure that it doesn't get spent anywhere else. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. This was episode 89 of the American Reveille Podcast, and I'll see you on episode 90. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, and I want to tell you about Life Change Tea. That's right, Life Change Tea. I have a pack of it right here. Listen, as many of you know, I've been working really, really hard to get back in shape, okay? I was thinking lately, right? And you should probably be thinking about it too, with how crazy everything is, with how unstable the government seems, with all of these socialists, all of this leftist insanity. You would just call insanity. Who knows when the hell I'm gonna have to run, or when I'm gonna have to, I don't know, save my family from something. I don't know. So I was getting fatter and fatter and fatter, feeling crappier and crappier and crappier. My diet was junk. I started by cleaning up the diet. I've been working out more and more, but I was still bloated. I was still gassy. I was still feeling crappy. And I finally decided to pull out an old trick in the book. All right. Something that I used for weight loss in the past. And I was thinking about a cleanse, right? Maybe take something that would help me evacuate my bowels a little bit, if you know what I mean. But you know, what I found was something different. I found Life Change Tea. All right, www.getthet.com. I found this Life Change Tea, and instead of a 7-day or a 14-day cleanse, a 3-day cleanse, what they were offering was a daily tea, like a daily delicious iced tea, not some kind of weird hot tea or some kind of nasty tasting thing. No, this was a health supplement All right, I started reading about it, and they were talking about all these herbs, these ancient herbs, right? Look at this: organic blessed thistle herb, malva leaf, organic marshmallow leaf. I didn't even know what the heck a marshmallow leaf was. Apparently, it's for anti-inflammatory and antioxidants and stuff. I looked some of this stuff up. It's crazy. Milk thistle extract that cleans your liver and kidneys. I mean, there's all these different things in here, but I was happy. I was attracted to it because it was all natural. It was put together in the US, right? Obviously, they've got to get spices from these very special places. Not spices, but these special herbs. They got to get them from special places around the world, but it's all done here. It's packaged, put together, and blended accordingly right here in the USA. All right. And I tried it, and it was delicious. Look at this. I'm old school. I fill a jug. You see this big jug right here? And for those listening over there on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and everything like that, I'm holding this big gallon jug that used to be full of water. See those tea bags floating in the bottom there? This was full, guys. But I've been drinking it every day, twice a day, 8 ounces. Take a listen. Pour it in the glass. Oh yeah, that's not a sound effect. That's real. Look at this. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. And mabuhay to all my Filipino friends out there. I have the mint flavor. It's actually really good. I really like it. It's yummy. Look, this stuff's good. I can take that right now. I'm going to do 2 hours of podcast recording after this. It's not like me drinking that's going to send me running to the back. It's gentle. It's good stuff, all right? So it's got all these herbs. They cleanse you out. They make you regular again. They clean the toxins out of your system. They help you clean the extra waste that's been stored up in the colon, the stuff that's not healthy for you, not good for you. It keeps the bloat down. I don't feel so swollen. You know how you feel like swollen sometimes? Your fingers are... Yeah, you don't feel like that. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. So it's good stuff, guys. Listen, you have to go to getthetea.com, GETTHETEA.com, www.getthetea.com, www.getthetea.com. Promo code James, folks. Promo code James. That'll get you free shipping and handling. It's not expensive. It's good stuff, all right? It helps maintain your health. It cleanses your body from all kinds of toxins, all kinds of things that can cause colds and flus and different things like that. It keeps the bugs out real good. It helps your digestion, all right? Just like I've been saying, my bloats, I feel so much better, guys. I feel so much better. And just in this journey that I'm taking to get back in shape, I really feel like it's helping me immensely. It really is. I really think so. So try it out, guys. Life Change Tea. You just saw me drink a bunch of it. You just saw my almost empty jug. That's, by the way, like the 3rd jug. All right. That's not the first jug. Not the first jug at all. Trust me. It's good stuff, guys. You're not going to be disappointed.